Good day, wonderful viewers. I warmly welcome you to your favorite program, coming to you live on SS Media. Just a quick reminder that this program is dedicated to all youngsters that are out there, more especially the young writers that are out there, for them to come on platform and then tell us what actually they are going through the industry. I mean, we have been doing it, and today is going to be another amazing episode. As you can see, someone who is so talented in the industry that is sitting right beside me today here. Well, this person is an author, an actor, and of course, is somebody who wins the hearts of the audience. I mean, somebody that wins the hearts of the people, I can say. So today, I have this person here who fills, the first poet ever that fills Ibujan Theater, and of course, I feel Benjamin Hall 3 times. So this is just amazing. It's just the hints of who he is today. So on that note, I will just hand over the mic to him to tell us who he is exactly, and then from there we pick up that program and then move on. But then again, it's going to be just amazing, I can say. So, young man, welcome to SS Media, and of course, we are honored to have you here on our platform today. The audience will be eager to know who you are and exactly. Can you please tell us?
Yeah, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's your favorite poet, Genius Janha. It's an honor to be here, and I look forward to a very, very interesting session with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Genius Janha. I think with just the name, people will be amazed, and of course, people will say, "Wow, today the episode is going to be interesting because we have the greatest of all time, I believe." As people used to say, he is the god of gum poetry. So, Genius, let's just go through the program. You just talk about genius. I believe people will be wondering what genius means. If you can tell us what is the reason behind the word, the name genius, because it might be a confusion to me that whether is this person a magician or whether he can do something that people cannot do. So if you can help us, what is the reason behind the word, the name genius, please?
Well, yeah, the genius is a magician, obviously, because once you're able to do things that people do, everything that people do, but in a different way, then you are a genius. So, in a literal sense, it means somebody that is multi-talented. And this is just not a name that I give to myself. It was given to me by a teacher back in primary school. Understand? So obviously, genius is a magician, and a whole lot of things that people are yet to see and understand.
Yeah, then that's just interesting. So genius is a magician. Then I'm right, I can say, because that is something that was in my mind, and then it's now actually coming to true. So on that note, when we talk about when we say genius Janha, our mind goes directly to poetry. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us how do you come to start writing, and of course what inspired you to start this journey of yours?
Yeah, that is right. I started poetry proper back in 2018, I think 2017, 2018, one of these years. I cannot fully remember exactly. So back in primary school, I was just an actor and a debater. That is what a lot of people back in primary school know me for. So I've been performing almost in a lot of schools, especially around Farad, Ogusumbala, Yundum, and the Gambia College, and I won some awards as best actors and everything. Yeah, so back in junior school, I was in grade 7. That was the first time we were exposed to poetry. So there was this particular poem that we were actually treating when Africa was a young woman by Tijan Sarah. It still remains one of my favorite poems that I've ever read. So after treating this poem, now you were exposed to it. So we were given an assignment by Mr. Kante. He was a literature teacher in ABC and in Talinding, I think here, Talinding. He was teaching in both schools by then. So we were given this assignment to write our own piece, being somebody that used to see poetry as a very funny thing. Yeah. Because when I see people say, instead of just coming out and say, I did this and this, they use all forms of, flows to say it. Yeah. So I wrote my own piece, and this was Dead Why. Dead Why was the first piece that I wrote. Okay. The first one that I wrote is Dead Why. Because I lost a couple of friends when I was younger, and still these are things that still haunt me in the
inside, yes.
Yeah, exactly. They hurt me now, and I lost friends that I've always wanted a way of expressing myself, but I could not find a way. So I felt this was an opportunity for me to give the world what I had. So when I wrote the poem, writing wasn't very, very difficult with me because already I was exposed to writing, continuous form of writing. Sure. Understand? So I wrote everything, And to me, yeah, it was good, but I didn't know that it would be that very, very good until it was presented in front of the entire classroom. So, people started building emotions. The teacher himself started shedding tears, and I could not hold myself because this was something that was really deep. You understand? Because poetry is like that. Once you start presenting, once you start reciting, a lot of people will relate. Understand? That is the power of poetry. So fast forward in grade 8, there was a graduation ceremony at school, I can remember. So a speech was written in French and was given to me by Muse India or something. I cannot fully remember the name because this was a long time ago. Yeah, so after presenting, I wanted to hand over the mic. Mr. Bayo was like, no, you have to give the crowd something. So I am somebody that was very good with writing lyrics. Understand, constructing poems, constructing lines and stuff. So the world we are living in was the one that I was known for, and it came as a result of that performance at the graduation. So when I started performing, it was not written. You understand? These were just words that were coming. So if you watch the video, if you're very, very observant, if I give out, like, let's say I give out 5 lines and people are clapping, you understand, they are cheering up, I'll be thinking of another 5 lines that will come here exactly. So it was a spontaneous flow, that very natural, you understand? And, people took videos and all of a sudden the video went viral. So when the video went viral, started walking in the streets of Iwotan and people were calling me, boy, you heard the video, hey, you ABC, And the popularity started coming at a very early age. I was very young. I think I was around 14, 15.
Yes.
Yeah, I was around 14, 15. I was very young by then.
Wow.
Exposure came and people started inviting me to programs. So I was like, why not I just pursue this as a career? So I went to Believe in One Records, recorded my first piece, The World We Are Living In, and boom, that one went viral. So that is when the...
So does it mean that the world we are living in, as a kid, several when I sit, I think
of this world we are living.
Yes, exactly. Does it mean that that is the very poem that boosts your confidence to go in for writing? Then?
Yeah. It is honestly.
Yes.
It is. Because that poem took me to places that I've never been to.
Exactly.
I can remember back then my father was at Basse for posting. So normally they do go for tours and other things. You understand? So he went to a village. I cannot fully remember the village. Is it Kuonku, something like that? Kuonku. It's around Basse. Those of you that are listening, that are watching, this village actually. So students there were listening to this poem. Even elderly people don't dig because they really relate, because the entire poem is telling you what people are facing.
Exactly.
And I think that is one thing that is unique about Genius, Janha, because once you hear the name Genius, and I branded myself in such a way that whenever you hear my name, the first thing that will come in your mind is what people are going through.
Sure,
understand? Yeah, yes. Exactly. And honestly, alhamdulillah, this has been actually helping me to reach all these successes.
Exactly. I can see. Then ever since you released that poem, things goes viral, and then people were like, "Wow, who is this person?" And then they get to love you, and then from now, you're a celebrity, I can say. Of course, let's just not your debate on that. Then how did you balance writing with other aspect of your own life?
Yeah, well, writing is just one part of me. So I have other things that I'm engaged into. Like I'm still a student at MDI, studying diplomacy and international relations. And I'm also working, and I have other things that I also do aside that I cannot see here. You understand?
Okay.
So let's just see. I make sure I plan myself in such a way that this particular period of the year is focused on this. This particular period of the year is focused on another thing.
Sure, definitely.
You understand? So that is why sometimes you would see that when you follow me on social media, you realize that in a particular month I'm always in the studio. In fact, I can be in the studio from morning till late night around 3, 4 maybe.
Okay.
Sleep around 12 Majugar. You understand?
Sure.
Because that particular period of time is the workaholic period. You understand? I gotta make sure that everything that I need to record I will do it in that period. So sometimes, in fact, this will give me the opportunity to clear certain things. Sometimes people think it's very, very difficult to have a collab with me as a poet. You understand?
Exactly.
But it's not. What works for you may not work for me.
You.
Exactly. When you are free, I might not be free. Exactly.
Sure.
So it's like that. And I'm a student as well. So I'm studying a course that needs 100% of my time. So
and many people are in need of you.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, I was telling you on the way. At this point, I have a lot of invitations that are coming for poetry shows and other things. So I before giving a green light to anybody, I need to sit with my management team and look at my schedule and say, okay, this particular period you're supposed to focus on your schooling.
Sure, definitely.
So you understand. So these are things people need to understand.
Yeah, human being can only be a human being.
Yeah,
you cannot be a
exactly.
robot at times. You can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
So definitely. But anyways, I think that's very fine. Then when we talk about this, we mostly we talk about, like, when we talk about genius, we know he's well known for poetry, I believe. So how do you describe poetry, or what is the role of poetry in today's world, I can say?
Yeah, poetry is a religion.
Yes.
To me, it's a way of life.
Okay.
And it has actually done a lot for me, and it has also done a lot for other people out there that I know. You understand? For example, let's take an example of the Gambia. 2-3 years ago, poetry was just a sad thing. Let's say 5 years ago, poetry was just a sad thing. You come to an event, you just perform for 2-3 minutes, nothing. You understand?
Yeah.
But now we are changing the narratives. Genius has already turned Benjamin into his own.
Exactly, sure.
High school students are also launching poetry albums. You cannot go to any school today and you will not have 1 or 2 students that would not know a Genius Janha or another poet's poem.
Exactly.
You understand? So that is it's a development, but there are still rooms of improvement.
Sure.
Exactly. There is no form of arts. There is no branch of arts that can go without help.
Okay, yes.
You understand? Those are things
support must be there.
Support must be there.
Yeah,
it's the
sure.
fuel, actually. All these big artists that you hear in the outside world, Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Prince, EA, they had the support of their own people.
Exactly.
But when it comes to Gambia, it's a different thing.
Is it a problem then?
Yeah, it's a very big problem.
Okay, I can see.
But Alhamdulillah, we are also trying, we're also pushing.
Sure.
And by the grace of God, inshallah, a lot of things will be successful.
Definitely. Okay, then that will lead me to ask you this question about, like, we term genius are the good of Gam poetry. Then how do you describe the Gambian industry, Gambian poetry industry? How do you describe it, if I may ask this?
Yeah, to be honest, it's growing. Yeah, but I feel we would have done better, and we could actually do better than what we are doing right now. You understand? But like I said, one of the main factors why we are still lagging behind is because of the lack of support. You understand?
From where?
From all angles, from the government, from private institutions. When you go to I had a conversation with a poet in Ghana. I think it's Ghana. It's either Ghana, Nigeria, or one of these countries. So the person linked me for a collab. It's an international collab, actually. We have already recorded. So it's just a matter of how to shoot the video, because he is there and I am here. So those are things that we are working on. You'll be very surprised to understand that poets are signing endorsement deals in the outside world there. Poets are signed on the labels. They're paying them. They're investing millions into their craft. But in the Gambia, it's a different thing. Believe me, I've hosted like a lot of programs in the Gambia here. But the only institution that has helped me so far is the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Wow.
Yeah, I will not come here and sound as an ingrate. I'll be very, very grateful to them. They are the only people that supported me.
Oh, that's
only the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Oh. Then why do you think this is something difficult to the Gambian writers?
There's one thing between Gambians and stakeholders. There is a barrier. The barrier is communication. It's very hard for you to have access to these people.
Oh.
You understand?
Yes.
How many institutions do we have in the Gambia? How many companies do we have in the Gambia?
Many
and one thing they don't understand, poetry is the fastest growing art in the country here. Wallahi lazim. If you bring the Holy Quran, I can swear to it.
Like seriously?
Yeah, like seriously. Like with the right investment, with the right investment, there is no venue in the Gambia that a poetry crowd can fit in. How many students do you have in the country? How many students?
There are many.
It's obviously more than 500,000, because if you remove kids from the population of the Gambia is around 2 million, I think.
Yes, correctly. Yes.
How many compounds? If you go to certain compounds, the only people that are not going to school are the parents.
Exactly. Everybody's going to school.
Everybody's going to school.
Yes.
Let's say you go to a compound of five people in the compound. So meaning there are 3 people that are going to school. You understand? And all those 3 people that are going to school, at least either 1 or 1.5 or even all of them know about poetry.
Exactly.
So imagine if, for example, a particular company like UCL signs a poet. Let's say they sign Genius or Poetess DJ or any other poet, and they're investing a good amount of money into you, so you can also brand yourself. Exactly. You can also produce quality videos.
Yes,
in the next 4 years, even Q City will not contain a poetry crowd. I'm saying it here, and believe me, if we work together, if we collaborate, these are things that are possible.
Okay.
Even 5 big schools in the Gambia cannot fit in Q City.
Okay. So what does that collaboration, like the poetry, the poets? You mean the poets, or when it comes to that?
Every other aspect of art.
They should come together to collaborate.
They should come together, collaborate, and also support us.
Okay. Then how?
Because one thing that hurts me the most is the fact that a Gambian artist, not only a poet, would organize an event. You look at the flyer, you not even see any sponsor there.
Wow. Yes. Always.
When for example, when we say a foreign artist is coming to the Gambia, sometimes you can have more than 10 to 15 sponsors.
Exactly.
Everybody will sponsor. This person will come. Okay, we cannot do this, but we can provide this for you. Why can't you do that for your own brothers and sisters in the Gambia?
Here, yes.
But whatever genius has, or whatever another person has, it's all gonna be left here. You understand? In the Gambia here, because tell you, for example, young TV presentation. So I'm a million going to Gambia, obviously.
Exactly. Sure.
You understand? The same thing.
Sure,
so it's high time we started investing in our own people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Definitely. Poetry is crowd like that.
Exactly. So how do you intend to uplift the youngsters that are in the industry? Because many of them are looking up to genius, and then in the industry you have youngsters that are coming up, and they might be facing difficulties. So how do you intend to uplift them then?
Yeah, we are doing that. The only problem is that we cannot come out and say I've helped a particular person, I've helped a particular person.
Exactly.
But nyom hamne man hamna and yala hamna. You understand?
Mashallah.
So one of the ways we can help people is to give them the platform, because that is what they need the most. They need the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talented and people don't know you, it's still zero.
Exactly.
You understand? Mm-hmm. And Janha has like the biggest poetry crowd in the Gambia here.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So last year we had last November,
yes,
the product of Pin Concert, we had more than 15 upcoming poets that performed on our platform. In fact, it's way more than that. I'm telling you, just people that are part of the production team. You understand?
Yes.
That is different from the people that we give chance to perform during the open mic session. And sometimes you can have more than 10 poets to perform during the open mic session.
Sure.
Because when we say 5 o'clock is the program, we can give it from 5, 6 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And this will all be open mic session. Mm-hmm. Kids will come, I have a point, we give you the platform to come and perform.
Exactly.
And Alhamdulillah, today those kids are also doing great.
Yeah.
You understand? And that is different from other small things that we do behind the scene that we cannot say.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. So this is what I realized, because I wanted him to come to that open mic session, because recently, not long ago, you launched an album, which is the product of pain, mm-hmm. where I realized Genius come up with a great initiative that is the open mic session. I was like, wow, what is the name of this? They said open mic session, and then platform were given to youngsters to come and play. What most motivated them to come up with that? Was it like someone just motivated you, or you just think of this and they say I have to help them to make sure that they're uplifted?
Basically, I had a very rough journey coming to poetry, you understand? Sure. Mm-hmm. So that is why So when I needed the platform for the world to see me, a lot of people did not give it to me. You understand?
So that's what you're avoiding.
Exactly. That's what I'm avoiding for the younger ones. Yeah. So it will be very, very selfish of me to have an event where I'll be the only one to come and perform.
Sure, exactly.
It's Genius that is making people to buy a ticket to come. But tomorrow, maybe the one that I'm giving the chance to will be the one to help my kids.
Sure.
You understand?
Exactly.
So it's just me trying to create that platform for everybody to be seen. Though it becomes very, very difficult, because sometimes some people perform and others will not perform, and they want to blame it on you, not knowing that it's not a privilege. It's just something that you are helping them with.
So do you have any academy, a set of a group of people that you're making up every day to make sure that you are helping them at all times?
Yeah, well, I have a group of mentees. Understand? I have a group of mentees that I'm helping, and some of them are actually doing great. If you know Poetic Pilot,
sure.
I gave him the first. I was the first person to give him the platform to perform. For example, so today Poetic Pilot is actually doing great out there.
Exactly.
Pilot is doing great, and there are a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's not informal. It's just me, Genius, bringing you on board, showing you the way to create your own career, and then bam,
Exactly. Sure, definitely.
Yeah, so that is how it is like. But when it comes to Genius Revolution, we're actually doing a lot of work. We're just not the social media tech. Not we post on social media. Those are things that we don't do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's important to at least do something that you don't expect something out of it. Sometimes you expect something out of it, but then it doesn't mean like when I do this, I have to get something out of it. Exactly. So to the wonderful viewers, from there we go to a short commercial break and we'll be right back. Okay, from that short commercial break, we're back. And of course, just to remind you that we have the GAM, let me say, the Good of GAM Poetry Genius Janha on the platform today for the GAM Writers Program. Well, Genius, let's come back to continue our program, I can say.
Yes.
Genius, let me ask, can you just share us a notable project that you have just accomplished, which was a success in your own journey?
Yeah, well, just recently I've launched an album, the Product of Pain album. It was supposed to be dropped before the event, but something came up, you understand, and it really hindered a lot because I was recording at a studio. Almost everything was recorded at one studio, and I lost the files because it was corrupted and other things.
Wow.
So, which is very difficult. As I speak to you now, I'm finding it very difficult to recover those files.
Exactly.
So I know already a lot of people out there expecting the album to come out because the initial plan was to drop it before the album, before the launching itself.
Okay.
But I had collabs with people that are not in the Gambia here.
Yeah.
You understand? So those are international collabs, and sometimes before you receive it, it's very difficult. So unfortunately, that is one thing that is still lingering behind. But this year, I'm focusing a lot more on like creating contents, these motivational videos, and I have a lot of poetry videos that are also coming as well. So this is gonna be a very busy year for me.
Sure,
it's gonna be a very busy year for poetry fans because week in, week out, you'll be hearing or you'll be seeing something.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sure. So that is, like if you can tell us again, like maybe the audience out there would love to know some of your previous achievements. That albums, the concert albums that you have just accomplished, some of those successes. So they would love to know what are those ones, please.
Yeah, well, to begin with, I was the first high school poet in the Gambia that filled up even Janha.
Wow.
And still now I can remember the auntie that was there. I forgot her name. She was like, Janha, next time you want to organize an event, you better look for a bigger place.
But that one was just
that was really great because the capacity of Ibunjan Theater was around, I think, 400. I'm not sure. You understand?
Yes.
But the crowd was like, we had more than what we were expecting.
Okay.
We were expecting rather.
Yes.
The crowd was just way bigger than we expected, and I was just a high school poet by then.
Exactly.
So from there, I moved to Penchamuel. I filled up Penchamuel when I was in grade 11. Yeah, that was the first time I filled up Penchamuel, and that is one thing that has never been done, and until now nobody's able to do that.
Exactly.
But I'm sure in the future somebody will surely do it because I have a lot of youngsters that are
coming up. Yeah.
Definitely. When they start hitting those big stages, everybody will know.
Exactly.
So
we have many geniuses that are on that.
Yeah, I have a lot of genius on that.
Exactly.
That
I can see.
Understand? So we filled it up again. The second time was with Jari, and the third time was the one that I just did on the 9th of November.
Okay.
That was a very difficult one because I had a lot of obstacles on the way that I had to fight personally. Okay. A lot of emotional battles until even now that I have a lot of them that I'm emotional battles that I'm going through, but alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Definitely.
I'm all good. I've healed and I'm back on my feet. And
so which of those projects is the most impact your life then? Which of those projects?
Yeah, product of pain is personal, but Hello World changed everything in me.
Hello World.
Yeah, Hello World changed everything, and Hello World was like a gate opener.
Okay.
For the poetry industry, because after that I saw a lot of poets launching album, a lot of poets hosting concert. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted. Because it was like the Noxen Bunta, Kong, You understand? We also here. Yeah, so it gave the poetry industry a lot of attention that it needed. Exactly. And shout out to everybody that was part of that project, and a lot of people were behind pushing.
So then how do you measure your success when it comes to those projects? How do you measure, like, you realize that yes, I got success to this project? How do you measure it?
Yeah, well, it was good. I've accomplished a lot, but still I have a lot of things that I need to do. I'm still young. I'm very young, and with the help of Allah, inshallah, Rabbi, I would do a lot of things in the future that I'm planning to.
So maybe Genius, you might mention about like there are emotional problems that you encountered just recently this album, I can say. So what must be those kind of problems those emotional problems that you were facing?
Well, yeah, it was a difficult one, and it's hard to put everything in summary, let's say. But I was going through stuff backstab from friends, betrayals, financial issues, and a whole lot of things. And I was also pictured to be somebody that I'm not.
Oh,
Understand?
yeah.
People out there labeling you, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I understood one thing: when a Gambian doesn't know you, when a Gambian doesn't understand the kind of human being you are,
Sure.
it becomes very very difficult. So all what they could do is to paint you. But one thing that really messed up my almost messed up Genius Janha was like I brought a lot of people close to me that were not genuine with me.
Wow, they were fake.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And a lot of them were there for missions, but who jobless, no one cost.
Exactly.
You understand? But at the end of the day, Alhamdulillah, I'm back on my feet. And these are things that taught me a lot. It showed me who was real and who wasn't. You understand? It went to a point that I could be on bed. I'm not even full good. Because boy, imagine, okay, for example, you are that kind of human being that everybody could tap from, and you don't even care if they're giving it back or not, because you just wanted to genuinely do it for you. Until one day you realize that these are the same people that are actually digging your grave.
It's crazy, definitely.
So it was a really difficult one. I went through hell. But God helped me, and Tahajjud also helped me a lot. Yeah, praying day in, day out, and also speaking to people that could actually help me, with ideas on how to overcome this anxiety and depression.
Yes.
And if somebody suddenly changes and you realize that the person is actually distancing him or herself from people, try to know the problem, because people go through a lot and they cannot open up, because the ones that they talk to will be the same people that will be out there, telling their problems to other people.
Definitely.
So these were things that I was dealing with. And the financial crisis that I also went through taught me a lot, because it showed me that I needed to plan. In as much as I will be there for people, I also need to watch out for myself as well. So it was difficult.
Definitely.
So to every artist out there, bro, honestly, watch out for yourself and know the kind of people you bring into your life.
Okay, then how do you receive this, and how do you comfort yourself as a human being? Because always it's difficult when you are expecting something and that has to come by your way. So how do you receive this, and how do you comfort yourself?
Genius Janha is an emotionally strong person. You understand, and I expect anything to come at any given moment.
Exactly.
So I was a little bit shocked, but at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, these are things that I saw. You understand? I foresaw them, and I know they will definitely come at me. So when it happened, I was like, it's all good. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Sure.
But yeah,
exactly. So Genius, you cannot leave this platform without giving a piece to the audience that are out there, because most of them will be eager to know. Genius must give us something, because normally they want you to be on stage, and here today you are at SS Media TV. We will love you to at least give something to them, a piece, a favorable for that matter.
Yeah, sure. I will give you the product of PIN itself.
Okay.
Yeah, the video will be out, inshallah, maybe before end of Ramadan or after Ramadan.
Wow.
But it will be out very, very soon.
Then we're waiting.
Yeah, we are waiting.
Inshallah, yes.
Lumomina wude sila ya nyabidi lente kata mosifa dodi. Amitan karandira barala ta fanan keta nya karandiro doldi. Mem fongo em fansun silo kan nyimol kan taki. Dunia mam mi bara fano de se keno fengo fendi. Mo fulante lata wala karinin karidi. Si digi lendem la lige motax dole mamuna fe. Di monin toro barinte dala len jigi fengodi. Adamale mansuti wala na baba te kala moye jonti. Badi njewol nintiru yakata kan truba. Imake no murol da diendi da dibo kono kan kanati. Amandu no ngankarinte mari damale obeno. Ndemeta sutura la ko fano. Ala la tanka mo buka kasara no ko safol min landi tatabe ko buaje le bulo ngawa pour ka Genius bo fufu kan dom taken diamo ni mulu murun kumol mante boynino hada madin sutu sa gis du yatu be tek sa boti malaika bi wedi yalla gene ma fu ma neka moy dana gende si digi ala ka di numéro ko mbali mo mutaka balu tamola namu mina jartala. I am a creative force, a genius in my own right, poet with a purpose, painting poetic of a pictures with poetic bars per poem. Metaphors flow from my pen like rivers to the sea. It learn a masterpiece, a glimpse of what it could be, and if I still speak to you, no I care. Turning heads, capturing hearts, making people stop and stare. My words are like mountain drawing attention from afar, bringing brands to life like a sparkling shooting star. I am crafting lines that ignite in souls on fire like stars in the night. Could they flee? Genius. Kenako. nu ko defee xanaa benn yoon boobu daal di ndimoonte génn ni jaar si benn yoon boobu kon mënuma ñàkk benn ba agsi fi benn bés dootoo benn yoon ba dégg leen ki si benn genius ma benn genius doon na kenn ku foog a dina benn sax si dundina.
Wow. Amazing, definitely. That was just amazing, I can say. I can't hold myself, and this is emotional, I believe. I don't know, but then okay, that's amazing, genius, definitely. And then at the beginning of the program, you mentioned about people, the way you do the themes that you used to write. I mean, your poems, I can say. And then now that you read your favorite poem, I can say here, and then you made mention about a spiritual something inside a picture, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so was it because of the problem that you were facing motivated you to write this piece that you just give to the audience?
Yeah, so this is one thing that I received this question a day after my, so a lot of people called and a lot of people texted me. So normally after an event you want to relax, so I put my phone on D and people ask, so in the poem I said, what's up with me? You understand? So these are things that actually happened, and it was really, really funny to me, you understand? Because I cannot understand how can the energy that you wasted to go and make those juices or whatsoever nonsense it is, you understand? You place it under my carpet just to make sure you destroy me. When I came home, I saw it, I was like, I laughed, you understand? But later I realized that one of my closest, I would say mentees or whatsoever it is, was there because a few months later, a few months later, that was after the show, the passing call, that was around January, February, and started, apologizing and confessing. I was like, boy, because I know one thing is for certain, Allah created me, and He's the one that has been protecting me over here. So even if you go to whoever you think would destroy genius, but you're wasting your time.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that
is it.
Exactly. So I'm not even bothered by all of those things that we have done. It's just something that I needed them to know. Okay, definitely genius. Yeah, it's a dark world. Exactly. But at the end of the day,
I think this is important for everybody to know, because most of the time when you are into this, when people know you, most of the time they tend to destroy you or whatsoever. So, but then with the faith that you have, and I mean Tawheed, it will help you to grow, inshallah. I pray that Allah guides you in whatever you are, and of course with time, genius will rise higher and higher. So, genius, we are going to the tail of the program, like I said, and then of course you just give us a piece, and then you told us, you just made mention about the poem is yet to be released, I believe. So how can people your supporters be updated about this?
Yeah, they can follow me on all streaming platforms. Just search Genius Janha, because I believe in the entire Gambia I'm the only Genius Janha.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, so we just search Genius Janha on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Understand? I wasn't serious with TikTok, but now I'm very, very serious with it. Wow. Understand? So you can follow me there as well, because I've started dropping videos. I already dropped 2, and they are doing great. Each of them has more than 10,000 views already. So be there and start subscribing, following, and be up to date. Definitely. I have a lot of projects that are coming on the way.
Genius is coming with a high speed. I mean, just be there and then be updated. Just stay tuned. He's coming with a very good one, inshallah, in the near future. Genius, let's just talk about this, I can say, because we have been talking about it. That is the darkness in the poetry industry. People are, making sure that those who are signing are being destroyed in one way or the other. So how do you compare then the darkness in the poetry industry and that of the musical industry?
Yeah, well, it's dark. It's dark in a sense that it's dark to understand that and to realize that people don't want good for other people. But at the end of the day, genius is someone that doesn't believe in some of these things, you understand? So that is why I said when I found that in my room, I laughed. Because it was very, very funny to me. Okay, now, yanko fa teg li you expect. But diga kama day wala. You understand? Definitely. So people need, it's 2025. We need to get these things out of our head. You understand? Let us focus more on the positive side of things. Yeah. Because energy body waste. Artist wala poet. If you invest the same energy in yourself, bro,
exactly.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to me. Actually, I don't believe in these things. So I don't believe in them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
right now where we are, the musical industry is higher than the poetry industry, and then just we are starting, I can say, as a poet in the industry, and people started this kind of things that we are trying to explain. So then, what do you have to say about this, and how do you how do you, what advice do you have for those people who are also in the same industry with you as a young writer?
Yeah, let them believe in God and believe that whoever is here right now is someone that God Himself has chosen. Yàlla moo jël genius mu jox ko lu mu ko bëgg a jox. Mu teg ko fu mu ko bëgg a teg. So yow jaam bi soo bëggee bañ man tey for exemple su ma la bëggee bañal yeneen yi loolu dafa loolu su ma ñàkk a gëm yàlla la. Because yow sa kàttan ak sa mun kese joxut la ko. You understand dafa am ku ñu tiim ñun yëpp ku nekk di jox ku nekk loo deserve wala lu mu bëgg nga am kooku mooy yàlla. So my advice to everybody, pray to God as much as possible. Doomi aadama loo munti nekk di def te yàlla àndul si rek wala yàlla nekkul si rek bro du musa succeed. So we need to focus more on worshiping God and working hard. You understand? Hard work is everything. You understand? Take for example, small talk here 1 year plus or 2 years, and I did not give the public the kind of poetry that they need or I did not give them something proper. People will say it. And if I'm not careful, they will stop supporting me because they want quality things on the table for them to pick.
And they're always hoping something.
Exactly. But you are sitting right there and you cannot even give people like 3 or 4 proper hit points. And you expect people to support you. They cannot support you. Nobody supports class.
Exactly.
Go to the outside world. Even these big Nigerian artists you see. For example, Burna Boy. You know how many albums Burna Boy has dropped so far? From the year that he blew to this year. It's a lot.
Yeah, sure.
That is telling you, even Burna Boy is not sitting down to say, I'm the African giant, so I will not drop anything.
Exactly.
You
have to work hard.
Yeah, you must. Yeah. It's a matter of must. You must work hard. Some of us, people like genius I can be in the studio, like I said, from morning
to 3 o'clock.
Yeah, to 3 o'clock in the morning again.
Sure.
And rush back home. Wow. Other people are doing the same thing. As I'm speaking to you right now, I have a video shooting that I need to do this weekend in this holy month of Ramadan. Wow. That is different from different collabs that are waiting for me at the studio. Sure. So it's not like genius have their program, move yourself, pinch. No, that's what they do. And so, even they make sure they perform. So it's gonna be different from you that is seated there, and you're the only time you saw it more so big so well you cannot force relevance.
Sure, definitely.
You cannot force
pace.
Yeah, exactly. For example, okay, name a fee. For example, it's a lot. You understand? But ban bitik la niti de gëna dem bitik bu gëna gaaw wala bu dé am lu gay buga.
Exactly.
Té so ñëwé ci suma bitik bi nga buga sa commande amulo next time nga ñëw amulo sa commande next do fa ñëwaat. Exactly. So that is how it is like. You must work. This is for all of us. Man, yo, ñu ma nekk di sétan ñu nekk di ñëw ñu sétan interview in the future. You must work if you want people to come out and support you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good advice to the audience, to the listeners that are out there. I believe these are words of motivation, I can say. So Genius, we are now at the end of the program. I mean, then you can just tell us, is there anyone that you would like to, acknowledge that, in your writing industry or in your writing career, yes.
Yeah, sure. My parents, my 2 parents, my mom and my dad, my management team. I have a management team, a proper one. For real, yeah, I have a strong management team. And everybody that has been supporting, my fans, those that I know, those that I don't know, and even you, the one that is leaving behind, but saying I support Genius Janha. I want to say thank you to you, and I want to say thanks to each and every parent that has been allowing their children to come and support Genius Janha. You understand? Because to be honest, parents really thrive when it comes to my events.
Sure.
Because somebody told me this small last event. But you're regularly this event, your parents you didn't the ticket you get out. Yeah. But them I think it's because of the positive message that are in my poems. And genius is definitely the genius of the people. So my one during in GIF. Saying thanks to all of you and all the media platforms, SSTV, all these other platforms that have been posting and boosting down poetry. Want to say thanks to each and every one of you and expect a lot of hits from me this year, inshallah.
Yeah, the genius of all people is giving you, something that is just coming by your way. Just in your doorstep, I can say. So just stay tuned he will bring you something amazing. So on that note, I thank you so much for listening. And of course, this was our guest for today, the God of Calm Poetry, Genius Janha. On that, I can say thank you so much, Genius, for coming on this platform. We are definitely honored. Of course, we are grateful to have you on our platform today.